Hello, and welcome to Dire Bear. It's Tuesday night, so that means we're playing Operation Aegis, our Lancer actual play. I'll be your storyteller for the evening, Jason, and with me as usual will be Sarah playing Vika, Eric playing Uriah, Carr playing Tiana, Patrick playing Freddy,
Hello.
and Jeremy playing Cortev. Last session, we wrapped up y'all's first mission that you were sent on before you had even really gotten situated. Just a random assortment of y'all thrown together. Most of you they decided to keep as a squad, and I believe you decided your squad name was going to be the Workshop?
Workshop.
Because of the high number of engineers.
The pork chop.
The Workshop.
Marginally better than the sweatshop.
Marginally. Alright, so y'all have had some downtime. Of course, your license levels went up. And I know you all mentioned it before that y'all have tweaked your mech somewhat.
Yep.
Everybody's license level 1, so that's not enough to have swapped out to a different frame. But I'm sure you'll surprise me with some goodies.
We get to be the ones to tell the GM fuck around and find out.
And then I will respond in kind.
As we expect.
I would expect nothing less.
Eventually, y'all start running into people with grit. Alright. So y'all have had a week or so of getting acclimated, meeting other people on the base. But everyone was really happy with how your mission went. You know, you went in, you got the VIPs out. Your superiors weren't necessarily happy about how they were kept in the dark about who exactly it was you were rescuing, or the circumstances by which you had to go rescue.
Hey, as long as they weren't mad at us.
They were not. You did exactly what you
Exactly
needed to
what
do.
was asked of us.
They're just upset that they didn't have the actual correct intelligence to give you. You know, need to know basis is one thing, but Union's hardly going to care if, okay, there was a secret base out there and you needed to go get the guys out of it. That would have been fine. But if there's been any fallout from that, y'all haven't heard anything about it. I assume everybody got their reports turned in the next day like they were supposed to.
Yep.
I have it. I have it like just prepped to send the minute it's due.
No such thing as sending it early, huh?
Nope. It
Your
arrives
eyes
exactly
is
when it needs to,
actually,
just like wizards.
Exactly when they plan to. Or when they mean to.
Yes. One of those quotes.
Whatever. Your eyes is extremely lengthy and very highly detailed.
Is it detailed in a organized fashion, or is it just every detail as he thinks of it? Oh yeah, and this, and this.
This
happened. Oh, that happened. Oh,
Say
this
in-
happened.
It's a juxtaposition based on how he acts, but his report basically reads like a thesis.
So it's flawless.
Why does this report have, like, cited
Citations.
sources? What's with this?
The cited source is just everybody else in the squad.
Mhm.
And then, she
Source,
said,
just trust me, bro.
and then Vika said this, and it cites Vika.
Because
Current,
like a post-it note worth of text. It's gets all the points, but it's very brief.
I feel like Uriah sends all of us like at some point just like blips one of us and is like, "Hey, do you mind if I quote you as saying this?" It's
No,
like,
he does not.
He doesn't get permission from his sources. What are you talking?
Yeah,
And
It's not the academic way.
I mean, he's still a gremlin. He's just
it's
his report is
Yeah.
basically a thesis.
in true academia, he often stole most of the research.
yeah.
Well, he's an engineer, and as an engineer, he needs to keep proper notes if he wants to keep stuff working.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even if he's jury rigging something, he needs to know how he went about doing it.
How did I jury rig this arm onto this frame?
Basically.
For someone who's worked with way too many engineers, sometimes no, they don't.
Well, they need to. They just
Or-
don't
or
necessarily.
They
it's-
need to.
or-
It doesn't mean they do.
Or it's
Yeah.
like doctors and they're chicken scratch, and you can't understand a damn word.
Only people that can read that are doctors, nurses, and the people at the pharmacies.
Yeah, my
Some
sister
part.
and my sister and her husband both work in the medical field. She has the worst handwriting, and her mother actually taught a handwriting class. So yeah,
So y'all had a little downtime. I mean, there's been training, and you being brought up to speed on the most recent goings on in the war.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all are sitting in the mess hall. It's lunchtime. The table's a little quieter than normal. The Mad Dogs have been sent out on a mission. That is Charlie Wayne's squad. Melody and Audrey were sent out as backup for whatever it is they're doing.
Okay.
Charlie Wayne claimed it was top secret as they were going out.
But then boasted about it as he was walking.
Talked about the exact thing he needed to do at the time.
His thing was he would love to tell you, but it's top secret.
Mm-hmm.
And he smiled a
I
little bit.
mean-
He just walked past you.
Leaning over to her
I'd love
brother.
to give
He
you more
doesn't know.
details, and I wish I could tell you it was at this location at this time.
But Esther's walking behind him and she just rolls her eyes.
Yeah, Vika leaning over to her brother. He has no idea. They haven't given him the briefing yet. How much you want to bet?
Just a wide grin.
But that was like the day before. Today, it's just you guys at the table. I mean, there's other people in the room, but
Mm-hmm.
squads tend to have it. There's not assigned seating.
And yet there
But
is
there's
assigned
clicks.
seating. Yeah.
And the cliques are usually squads.
Yeah.
Usually next to squads they work with regularly. It's
Mm-hmm.
but you all get a ping on your comms.
More training?
No, you're supposed to report to Commander Jellicoe. He has a mission. There is a mission for you. The times are the you have a half hour. You're supposed to meet him in a half hour.
Oh. It's not how I heard that.
Quick question. How much downtime did we have between missions?
Weak.
Week.
It's been a week.
Okay. I wanted to make sure because I want to know if I could have made anything else.
What are you trying to make? And what have you already made?
Well, I already made the pneumatic thing for Vika's gauntlet things where she auto knocks people down when she
Oh
hits them.
yes.
I need to add that to that.
I wanted to know if I could work on the up armoring mech reserve.
Okay, what does that do?
Affixes additional plating to the chassis exterior. Your mech gains +1 armor for the duration of the next mission to a maximum of 4, and you start the next combat with +5 overshield. So it's basically just for the mission.
But it doesn't slow you down or anything?
No.
Seems like there'd be a trade-off to that.
Now this
Uh,
is just,
Well, all the reserves are they're used for the next mission, and that's it.
Okay.
So they're basically consumables.
It's like in other games, like a D&D game, it'd be like a one-use item. Sort of.
Yeah.
Okay.
I figured
How long are there rules for how long this takes you to make?
there are downtime actions. I'd have to
Yeah,
go.
it's a downtime action.
Yeah. That's what I was asking about downtime. I don't know if there's a specific rule to govern how long it takes beyond it's a downtime action.
If you go to start project, you'll see that there's an option to click it's complicated.
Where is start project?
So when you go into active between missions, yeah, in the corner.
Yep. There we go.
It's the get creative, I believe.
Yeah, there we go.
oh Lord. I just saw one of the tactical reserves, colony drop,
Mm-hmm.
where basically you have a ship in orbit, basically drop a cargo container on them.
I appreciate that one of the downtime actions is it literally get a damn
Get a damn
drink.
drink. Yep.
Yeah. So do you want me to do it's complicated or?
Yeah, that should work.
Okay. So complicated.
And I think you still have to roll for it.
Where are backgrounds,
I
triggers?
do.
Are those actually located in ComCon? Because I'm not seeing them.
Okay. So.
What are you looking
The
for?
downtime mission or downtime
That-
thing.
Yes.
They're
so-
in activate your pilot, but before you go on a mission in the bottom right corner.
Bottom, active mech sheet, pilot sheet layout options, pilot options. I see DOS here, narrative profile.
You have to go into active mode.
Aha.
But before, so once you go into active mode, before you hit start mission, like we did for the farm battle, there should be on the bottom right what looks like a bed with a moon over it. Those are downtime actions you can do. So can I use my invent
Okay.
/ create, and do I get my accuracy from my mechanic background?
Yes, to both of those.
Okay. All right. Plus, this would be +5 now with grit.
Yep.
Okay. Initial
5
roll
plus a
result
D6.
was a 20.
Okay. So whose mech have you juiced up?
His own.
Okay.
Okay, so you can make progress on your project, but can't finish it. You can finish it next time you have downtime without a roll if you get some things done before then. So I said I have to have at least one requirement: a good workspace, specialized tools, specific knowledge or techniques, and or quality materials.
Okay, you have access to all of
you're-
that your own base.
If you're okay with it, Jason, I'll do the get focused and focus Tiana in the infirmary and upgrade her patch.
Okay.
I did it and it just immediately gave me a skill trigger. I was like, oh, whoops.
No, that is exactly how that works. Cortav will be throwing himself into the, because I think a lot of the response he gets back from when he's sending out like correspondence to all the other companies is like, show us what you can do. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna throw myself into my studies. So he's also gonna get focused.
Okay.
I'm actually going to gather information for mine.
All right.
Because right now,
Oh, go ahead.
Because while we've got some of the history between these two, these have been multiple wars. There's been some change. I actually want to get more into the details of that. What, essentially, because as for this, you poke around your nose, perhaps where it doesn't belong, investigating, doing research, and following up on a mystery, tracking a target, keeping an eye on something. Basically, this the downtime average.
Yeah, he
Okay.
rolls a d20.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have any skill triggers that would go into that?
I just got charmed, so
If you were just asking around the base and trying to sweet talk people, I guess I could see that one.
Yeah.
So give it a roll. And don't forget to add the +1 for your grit.
you get it now or get what you're looking for. If you choose the latter, okay. You can choose to get out now or get what you're looking for. If you choose to get the latter, you can get your information, but immediately gets you into trouble.
Okay, so it's basically risky. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're gonna poke around when there's a risk of getting in trouble?
Yes.
All right. Give me a roll.
This has been okay. Comcons been second. There we go. Okay, so that plus my grit would add in again, correct?
Yes. You
I
get,
think
get
so.
the +1 to the right. Roll for your grit.
All right, so that is a 19.
Okay.
You find what you're looking for, but choose one. You leave clear evidence of your rummaging, or you have to dispatch someone to implicate someone innocent to avoid attention.
Jesus, on base.
All right. You find what you're
Now
looking
the
for. All right, but it looks like you get to choose.
Do you leave evidence, or do you
Frame somebody
have a
else.
Pepsi?
I will. Unfortunately, that does not kind of go. That does rather go against his morals in this regard, because it's his morals going into this. Because I'm trying to figure out. We just found a top secret biotech facility. Why would they have this? What are we actually getting into here? And that's sort of his. Well, he'll leave evidence behind that. Yes, I'm looking around, but I'd still want to know
Okay.
everything that's going on.
All right.
Obvious evidence you've looked through.
So the deeper history, the first two of these wars seem to have been, just conflict of resources. Both sides wanting to be the dominant power on the planet. Kind of typical stuff. In both those cases, you can find which side actually started it, even though there'd been a build up, and then a spark set it off. But with the most recent one, both sides seem to be equally convinced that the other side started it. In the previous two wars, I mean, the propaganda always claimed the other side started it, whichever, whose ever history you're looking at is claiming the other guy started it every time. But Union has actually got some intel from the Shannara side. And even with all their internal stuff, they seem to be convinced that the League started it. Or by the same token, the League seems to be convinced that. So they're not sure they're not sure who fired the first shot. There had been lots of building tension, just like the previous two. Everybody kind of figured there was going to be another round of this at some point. You could also make a list of atrocities.
Of course.
Towns wiped out, cities leveled. And, you know, both sides have been guilty of stuff. It's mostly been a little calmer this go around. Only like one or two small towns have been wiped out.
Only two. One or two.
One or two. Just one or two.
One or two.
Let me make a note.
Hate when the DM says that.
Get Patrick more info.
Ah.
I'll give you more specific stuff later. That's just kind of what I got off the top of my head right now.
Okay.
Also, beside that, he left evidence.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's it.
Narked on himself.
And he left evidence.
I like to think he just like sent an official letter of inquiry, and all of us are like, "That's a stupid idea." And he does it anyway.
I get questioned. We heard you've been looking around. Yeah, I have. I filled out the form.
No. Leaving evidence implies you were doing something you probably shouldn't have.
It's like every once in a while you just see Tiana walk out with like bloody hands because she's been in the infirmary.
You got some red on you.
Well, if it's on
Darn spot won't wash off.
if it's on Tiana's hands, then clearly she wasn't doing things right because she'd have had gloves on.
Oh, she
wasn't leaving
walking out.
She wasn't leaving the infirmary. She was getting thrown out.
Yeah, no, she wasn't leaving the infirmary with bloody hands. Just like in the room that she had. If you walk by the infirmary.
But
with gloves on, yes.
Eating a jam sandwich and just got really involved.
All right, Vicky, did you want to do any downtime in that week y'all had?
Sure, she'll go get a drink.
All right. And what does that do mechanically?
Roll a d20. On a 9 or less, you decide whether you had a good time or not. Either way, you wake up in a gutter somewhere with only one remaining. Your dignity,
Jesus
all of your
Christ.
possessions, or your memory. On a 10 to 19, gain 1 for reserves and lose 1. Gain a good reputation, a friend or a connection, a useful item or piece of information, a convenient opportunity. At a 20 plus, you gain 2 from 10 to 19, but don't lose anything.
Would stay cool apply to this as a trigger?
Hmm.
Probably not. Something complicated in a high stress situation? Nah.
No,
Just
go ahead and
my
get
grip.
it shouldn't be a high stress situation until things go wrong.
Yeah.
It isn't until it is.
Alright. Just roll a 20, right?
Yeah.
Right. That's all you got to do.
I'm using the lucky duck.
A lucky duck.
There's a reason the duck is lucky. 20. So with the grit of 21.
So you choose 2 from the 10 to 19. So you can choose either a good reputation, a friend or connection, a useful item or place of information, or a convenient opportunity. 2 of those.
Friend or connection. I'll take one of those.
All right. Vika made a friend.
And useful item or piece of information.
At this point, I've just come to keeping the PDF open.
You can actually add it to your reserves, so we'll see if that lasts.
Oh yeah, it says list as reserves and don't lose anything.
All right. And reserves what we were discussing, like the one-time use thing.
I don't know if this would be a one-time use thing on this one.
Okay, the way you were saying that, I just kind of realized how the tab on the thing worked, because you have to basically type in your roll result for that one. You have to dispatch someone along the way. Okay. But they mean that you just kill someone. So yeah, I took the one I would be going. I do.
Yeah. You're not a psycho.
Yeah.
All right, so Vika has got a friend and an item or piece of information.
I love how I was muted yet I said yet at the same time.
You can always get me those later.
Yeah. Now, was that everybody doing their thing?
I think so.
Give me a second. Prince is starting to complain. I'll be back in a second.
Okay.
Oh, Vika does bring the broom back and turns in the assault rifle, but she keeps the broom. It's in her bunk now. Just kind of like hung, like someone would hang like a sword over, like on the wall. It's hung like
A
that.
trophy room.
Yeah, it's hung over her bunk.
It has a name tag called Billy Broom now.
We'll have to workshop the name, but
Just has a name tag, says, "Hi, my name is
Sweeper."
No, that's your new call sign, Sweeper.
No.
All right, so y'all finish up. You have time to finish up your meal before making your way to the command center.
Uriah vaults the table again.
You got in trouble.
He does
Like
what to the
reaching
table?
to grab him by the collar. And stop jumping over the table.
But it's the quickest way to the door.
Mom would skin you. Walk around the damn table.
As you guys are having the conversation, Tiana's walking by. It's like it's also the quickest way to get in trouble, and then just keeps walking.
Yeah, but I'm more scared of Mom than I am of base security. Okay.
That's fair.
And he suddenly just walks very politely out the door.
As they're walking
Her
out,
tail between his legs.
the MP leaning against the wall, Vika, he just gives you a nod.
Nod of respect back.
And y'all make your way across the base.
It's about halfway there. Uriah starts getting titchy again. It starts like twiddling his fingers, wanting to.
Do a lap. We have to behave at the commander's office.
And he's off.
Tiana just waves.
I just think he has the zoomies. He hasn't been allowed to go out and play on missions in a week, so.
You'd think he'd hit up the track.
You'd think, but that requires planning, and he can plan, but he chooses not to sometimes.
I can see that.
All right, so
I'm just imagining the what the fuck moment that everyone in the squad has when they see, like, whenever he writes reports, it's basically a collegiate thesis. They're like, wait.
Everyone else hands in like 2 to 4 pages. He hands in like 50.
This is bound in leather. What the hell?
And it's single spaced. An 8-point font.
you get to the command
I
center.
ain't reading any of this.
There's a private behind the desk. He looks up as you're coming in.
Raya zooms back about like 15 seconds after they get to the door.
He checks on his computer. Commander Jellicoe will see you now. Yeah, and y'all know the way back to where you're supposed to be. You walk in, Jellicoe's behind his desk doing some kind of paperwork on his computer. Please come in, have a seat.
Uriah does take a seat, and proving where he went, he reaches into his bag and pulls out a fidget toy and starts messing with it.
Peek in her head, at least he's sitting, and just kind of takes a seat.
Jellicoe stares at the fidget toy. And it's like you can see him. He really wants to say something, but he decides to just accept it for the moment.
Just leave it.
Better than him spinning in the
This is the
chair.
most victory you're going to get.
And okay, and Jason, it just occurred to me.
Mm-hmm.
I had charm +2, but I also have investigate +2, so that would have been like over 20.
Well, you can only
Investigate.
use one
You
trigger.
can only use one.
Oh, I can only
You
use
can't.
one
You can't
trigger.
pile
I
triggers up. So.
I got. Okay, gotcha. So
Well,
it's
that
still
would be
a 19.
nice.
Yeah.
Very much so.
So I still left evidence. Very well.
So our allies have alerted us to a little situation that they would like us to take care of.
You have complete details on this?
I believe we have the full intelligence on this one.
So keep our eyes open. Got it.
Officially, I am certain that we have full details and that after the previous misunderstanding, we can trust our allies implicitly. Off the record, I think they're being straight with us this time, but yes, keep your eyes open.
If I see anything else, I'll write a comprehensive report. He says as he's fiddling with the toy.
There's a reason we had a week downtime.
He had to read the reports. But yes, he looks forward to your reports. Your last one was quite detailed.
Oh, that's just normal. But okay, do you want more detailed? I can do that.
As much detail as you see fit to put in there.
You got it. Back to the toy.
And now 100 pages later.
You know, some of you were a little sparse on detail, just so it looks at Vika.
I helped him with his.
I'm
Cough,
sure.
cough, cough, cough.
I mean, I got all the recordings and the dialogue from somewhere.
But so he types away on the wall back behind him. Holographic screen pops up, and you see an older guy in the. He's wearing robes. Think something similar to a toga. It is not something people commonly wear on this planet, other than in the League, the senators of the various cities. It's like their formal wear, kind of like in the real world, judges wear robes.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
It's something they wear kind of when they're on duty.
Okay.
Or I think in England the judges still wear the powdered wigs, or at least did till recently. This is Basil Phokas. Senator Basil Phokas.
Basil Phokas?
Yes. Basil, pretty much how you'd expect it to be spelled. Phokas is Phokas.
I was gonna jokingly say with a P, but
PHO.
KAS.
KAS.
It's probably pronounced more like Phokas or something, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's from a very important family. He's been a senator for quite some time. His father was a senator before him. Everyone expects that his son will be a senator after him.
Haha, nepotism.
The Phokas have been a very important family for quite a long time in this city, in their city.
What do we do with a Nepa baby?
That's politics on this planet. Period. Pretty much, either side of the trenches you want to check.
Well, that feels familiar.
But speaking of the son, that's where the problems come in. He is currently serving in the military. Military service is very important if you're going to build a political career. But he was serving under an alias, as not to make himself any special target. But that alias was apparently leaked. So they would like you, or what they would like the Union to do, is go out and extract him. He's near the front lines. Totally lost my train of thought. Hold on. Please pause while your GM is buffering.
You need like little. That's what you need to do, like a little graphic spin wheel that pops up when you're thinking.
Or I could just get me a pinwheel and just hold it up and spin it whenever I need a second to think. But yeah, they're sending you out. You know, it's more or less on the front lines. A lot of activity out there. They're sending you to a forward base. They can't fly you all the way in. The enemy have been using drone attacks to take down ships. And, you know, they're y'all side doing the same thing. It's air travel is just not safe in that area.
Right.
They're going to fly you as close as they feel is safe. And then y'all are going to have a fairly long march to the base. When you get there, you know, the base should have been notified that you're coming. And yeah, get there, get Justin Phokas, and get him back.
That is a terrible pun, Jason.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Justin Phokas?
Justin Phokas, what?
So he's just in focus.
Okay, that is terrible, but I had not thought of that ahead of time.
Had not actually said this name out loud.
It's a classic DM gambit.
Yep. Is the kid wanting to actually come home, or are we gonna have to like knock him out and bring him back against his will?
Yeah, I've already titled this mission "Saving Private Phokas," so yeah.
Well,
does he have his own mech, or do we have to bring him back in one of ours?
That's gonna be it.
Oh no, he was serving the infantry.
Yeah, from what it sounds like, and even in universe, the people that tend to have the most mechs are usually like the upper echelon factions.
Yeah.
The League have a few of their own, but
yeah,
Union is supplying quite a few.
Tiana is going to request an expanded compartment in place of one of her other system points, so that he can ride in with her if she has to.
Well, they can always slap him in like a troop carrier or something. I'll just escort it out.
We don't know if they're gonna have one.
You know, that is fair.
So Tiana's
we can also run quicker.
It'd be real nice if we had kept that one APC from the last mission.
So yeah, Tiana's going to request the expanded compartment in place of one of her other system points. So before this mission.
Okay, they can probably swap that out pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's just particularly in Everest, they're kind of designed that way.
Mm-hmm.
Just slap a baby Bjorn to the front of the Everest.
As far as does he want to come home? Jellicoe tells you he has no idea. He assumes the man will follow orders.
If he doesn't, do we have permission to politely make him follow orders? Nothing super harmful. Just
is the kid gonna get like court-martialed?
Toss him over his shoulder.
Follow orders.
If he were a regular soldier, sure.
But because he's a senator's son, no guarantees.
Probably not.
You
just
have to pick the boy up.
just try to be. If he gives you any trouble, just try to be charming and convincing.
Oh, we're good at that.
And if that doesn't
All
work,
right. And then, Rabbit, how many sedatives do you have?
I do not need to hear this.
We will not illegally drug the senator's son.
Write it out like 50 times on chalkboard.
If he happens to trip and fall on somebody's fist, that's completely different.
As Vika says, concussions happen all the time.
Please save your in-squad strategies until the meeting is over.
I don't
This is all
want to hear any of
hypothetical.
this.
And
Well,
Let and
hypothetically,
joke.
I would need a plausible deniability if he shows up with a black eye. Hypothetically.
Understood.
hypothetically,
But that
he won't.
from his spot in the middle of all this, having not said a word, Uriah is just grinning.
That's deeply concerning. Okay. When do we head out?
Within the hour. Or however long he gestures over to Tiana. However long it takes the
Compartment of being
the frame jockeys or the engineers to swap out.
frame jockeys, Jesus.
Well, I said that, and I thought, well, that'd probably be more like you guys piloting than the basic engineers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Robot jocks.
I hear that movie.
You
had a
have seen
sequel.
that movie, right, Jason?
I've seen the first one. I know there's supposed to be a sequel. I've never seen the sequel.
Yeah, there is one, but as a BattleTech fan, if you hadn't seen that, I would be disappointed in you.
But I
Haven't
may have
played
seen that
Battletech.
movie before I knew what BattleTech was. And he's typing away, and since he's still sharing his screen behind him, you see he's putting in the order to have that compartment swapped out. Though he does ask Tiana, he does ask you which what you want it swapped out with, and you can just arrange it on your.
Yeah. I had armament redundancy, so I'm swapping that out for expanded.
So you're gonna carry the VIP?
I assume so, unless we think someone else's mech should have it.
My mech's gonna have an extra set of hands. I could just hold him, squeeze him like a
I
Ken doll.
don't think having him
No.
outside the mech in a battle zone would be smart.
No, it
Commander.
would not.
Yes, you're right.
Can I go? If he's carrying the VIP, if she's carrying the VIP, I gotta add something to that mech.
To Tiana's mech.
Yeah,
What are you adding to my mech?
extra armor and a shielding system.
I'll take it.
Can you do that in an hour?
It's already built. I just gotta apply it.
Very well. Carry on.
And he's out the door at light speed. because he couldn't vault the table, he vaults the back of the chair and he's off.
Just Rikers
you
over it.
Yeah, that was
Reverse
that was-
Riker.
Yep.
I just imagine the chair teetering and Tiana just grabs it.
Just a dust cloud.
There's an after image of where Uriah was sitting, and then it vanishes.
As the chair is teetering back, Jellicoe
Vika leans over.
he's
and
like
gently
death staring
rights
that chair. Like if it hits the ground, there's going to be repercussions.
it. Vika makes sure the chair is righted. He's gotten better.
Jellicoe looks at Vika. I appreciate your brother's enthusiasm.
It's actually
What?
tamed down in the past couple of weeks, so maybe it'll continue to trend to a more controllable rate.
Sounds like there was a butt coming from that.
For your sake, I hope so. I
There
can't
it is.
imagine trying to wrangle him on a regular basis.
Been doing it for some time, so
Well, there's no other questions. I suppose we can dismiss you all.
Thinking
And
back.
he's just looking at
Ready?
you to see if you have any questions. All right, he gives you a nod, dismisses you.
So basically, car.
Hmm.
For this next mission, or next combat, really,
This is in the reserves, right?
it is. Yeah, it's called up armoring. Adds +1 to your armor for the mission, and the next combat we're in, you get a +5 overshield.
Right. Where is that under?
Mech reserves.
Mech reserves.
Yeah.
Up armoring. There it is. Okay.
Yep. Since you're carrying the VIP, your eyes like, quick.
Slot.
Make the mech chunky.
Mm-hmm. So basically, when the
And
other engineers are working on
Plus one
like
armor
changing.
for the duration of the mission to a maximum of 4,
And,
you start the next combat with
as
+5
everyone leaves, I actually want to address Jellicoe on this.
Okay.
And this is when like everyone's out of the room, as I will actually. There's one thing I'll say, Commander Jellicoe. There is one thing I will need to inform you of.
Okay.
In between, after the last mission, particularly after determining that we had encountered less than accurate information from our friends here, I went on and did some researching on my own. I wanted you to know this, just in case anything comes back to you.
In what manner did you research?
This is digging through the histories of all of the recent events. This is both, I would sometimes call it digging through both the trash and the cherries. I went through all the known sources of the information between the last 2 wars, but then I also dug through all of both the people the conspiracy theorists, and also the less known sources.
That's probably all I need to know. If it comes back to me that you were intruding into our allies' computers, or into any of ours you didn't have access to, you will be reprimanded. So I would suggest in the future being a little more careful in how you satisfy your curiosity.
Understood, sir.
But thank you for bringing it to my attention. At least if something does crop up now, I won't be blindsided by it.
I've always been of the action. It's like one of those things. If you're gonna do something, don't try to deny it. Just take responsibility for it and move on.
It's a good way to operate. That sort of behavior has done me well through the years.
I just want to let you know person to person before, in case something comes up. Anyway,
Really?
I gotta get to the place and hopefully put out any fires before Uriah starts them.
Godspeed.
A fire alarm goes off.
Damn it, boy!
Somewhere down the
Actually
lane,
wasn't
you hear Tiana. What did you do?
Damn it, Bobby!
All right. So you're applying this extra armor stuff.
Mm-hmm.
While the regular mechanics are swapping out the 2 modules.
Yeah.
Yep. I'd assume that they make it basically she's here and he's behind. If anything.
They just strap a car seat into your mech.
I think maybe by the time Tiana gets there, he's probably upside down, attached to the chassis, with the mag boots, putting something up in there.
She just gives you a look and she just shakes her head and just climbs on up. See if she can help the engineers.
Yeah,
She'll
so
help wherever she can there since mechanic.
So it's down to the wire, but y'all managed to get everything loaded up. Well, the rest of you have no trouble.
Yeah, he would basically like pop up to the right side of the cockpit, like so.
Hi.
Hi. So the armor plating I added is shaped, so it should be able to deflect projectile rounds pretty well. Add a little bit of a mirror to it, so energy weapons will have a little bit harder getting to you. And there's some padding behind it to reduce blast. Now, if you look here, he reaches in, like points to like one of the.
It's down to the
monitors.
wire, and this is the last like 30 seconds of Uriah just teaching her how to use it.
Yep.
No
Now,
pressure. Just roll a 20.
Now I added a pack that it's a one-time use thing. So next like fight we get into, it'll turn on, burn out, done. It'll add kind of a barrier around your mech to be able to absorb some fire to prevent it from actually reaching the armor and the chassis of your mech itself.
And
Not
I can
infinite.
activate this whenever. I need
Yeah. Well, once you throttle up all your combat systems and everything, it'll activate the shield. So it'll just turn on. So it's not something you'll need to deal with. But this meter here, as he's like literally like attaching it, will keep track of it for you. So it's a good thing just to keep an eye out, so you're not, expecting it to block something, but it's depleted, and then you get shot in the face. That'd be bad.
Just a little bit.
It's mission time. Bye.
Closes her mech.
And then Rabbit hears me chiming in the comms. I've also got a shielding system too that I can apply to you or everybody nearby. Actually dug it out of a few busted mechs I found here. So if you just need help, let me know.
I've still got the smoke charges, and I've got restock drones, so if people need loading, I got that.
I'm still a big fuck all wall if y'all want to stand beside me or behind me. That still is an effective strategy.
Worked great for me last time.
Yeah. I have testimonials here.
Is there a way to install a backpack on your mech that we just stick one of the mechs in?
Nah. No, we ain't. I ain't piggybacking none of y'all.
I'm working on that.
You.
And so am I, but
Alright, so y'all get loaded up into the flyer. It takes off, rockets towards the hot part of the war.
I will say before we left, he did put his mag clamps in their like spot in his like toolbox or whatever. He grabbed some grenades and then hopped into the mech.
Okay.
They're going to
Goes out.
They're going to an active war zone, so he figured.
Yeah,
Grenades.
perfect reason. So yeah, you spend several hours flying. It's fairly uneventful, and y'all just sit around, and all of a sudden you hear the alarm from the cockpit, signaling a lock on.
Oh, great.
That's a bad noise.
The pilot, the pilot tells everybody to buckle in.
So
He drops down low. He throws off flak. You hear explosions as something must have hit the flak. The shock wave shakes the vehicle a little bit, but not really any worse than turbulence. If you glance out the window, you're seeing the tops of trees.
And are we still in our mechs in the plane, or are
No. This was hours and hours of.
Yeah, I didn't think we would be in the mechs
flying
for hours, but I need to ask.
But
And as the explosions here, you hear me reassure Whip in the background.
I'm just picturing your little AI back there, like a dog hearing fireworks.
Do you have a thunder vest for the AI?
Give him a treat later.
Whip's just trying to crawl under, gentlemen, please.
Gentlemen, please, is just in sleep mode.
Oh,
Rabbit's
Lord.
NHP is stuck in her mech.
No, I brought Prince out to my parents' house out in the country, and it was duck season. And that was a bad idea.
What? Prince don't like duck? Prince is a dog, in case anybody didn't know.
Yeah. And, well, no, because the sound of shotguns were very audible.
Oh, I thought maybe it was the number of ducks around got him excited or something. Okay.
No.
Yeah, I figured it'd be gunfire.
Or fireworks. Those are always usually hand in hand.
Oh yeah. I always bring him in during, like, 4th of July and stuff like that, so.
What's funny is my terrier, like, he doesn't even care about fireworks. He's just like, nap time. Giant Shepherd when he was still alive. Had to have a thunder vest. He had to be like right up on you. He hated it.
All right. So the pilot tells you, as soon as I can find a clearing, we're setting down. I've tried to drop down below radar, but if they've and this is further out than we thought they were covering the air. So if they're already locking onto us and shooting at us from this far out, we go any further, we're gonna start running those suicide drones or kamikaze drones, whatever you call
Fun times.
them. So y'all have a little longer walk ahead of you.
Anti-air drones would probably just be a better term.
Fair point.
So
So just a
to
few
stretch
minutes.
my legs, anyways.
Just a few minutes later, he comes to an open area.
Remember, bend with your mech's knees.
He lands, lowers the back. Well, once y'all get loaded into your mix.
That just pushes us out. You're on your own.
Conveyor belt. Let's go.
One second.
Good luck. He's gonna pull back a few clicks. Basically, everybody mark this spot in your I guess it would still be GPS.
Make a waypoint on your maps.
Basically.
Rabbit asked Rabby to do that.
He'll pull back and then wait for you to signal. So then y'all have marching ahead of you.
Yay, marching.
Hey, do we have any way to maybe scout ahead
Alright.
with drones or stuff? So we're not surprised by anyone sneaking up on us.
Well, nobody should be sneaking up on you. There's no reports of any of their actual mechs out this far.
Oh, and the anti-air drones won't swoop down this low or anything? Or are they just strictly anti-air?
So far, they appear to have been strictly anti-air.
All right.
Good to know.
So far.
Yeah, that's far. It's war, all's fair.
All right. Well, everyone, keep your eyes peeled and your sensors sharp.
All right. You wind up spending about 4 days.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Ugh.
I hate that.
You stop obviously you have to stop every now and then to stretch your legs, get out and get something to eat. Maybe wash up a little bit. That's up to y'all, I guess.
Well, we probably should at least, once we know we're closer, so we don't walk up on the base smelling of,
Well,
Ass.
because also, yeah.
or-
They're near.
Ooh, you got to robot it out there for just a second.
His comms cut out for a minute.
Oh. Better now, or?
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
good.
it's cleared up, man. But But y'all are more or less in forced march mode. I mean, you are trying to cover as much ground as possible. And occasionally your sensors will pick up a little something, flicking by in the sky. You can tell it's drones, but you never get a good enough lock on them to tell if it's your side's drones or the other side's drones.
Fly by too fast.
They never do anything to you, and you'd hate to shoot down, expensive equipment from your side. Not saying they dock you pay.
But they dock.
We'd get lectured.
Yeah, Jellicoe would not be
Heavily
happy.
lectured. Jellicoe's got a lecture ready already.
He's like got it pre-recorded. He just come in and he hits play.
He's been like revising Uriah's like talking down speech like over and over again.
He's got like a filing cabinet, and there's one drawer. He's got all of his dressing down speeches for everybody, and then there's Uriah's drawer up under there.
Yeah, he has his own drawer.
I say that.
Tracks.
Really, the only problem he's had with Uriah so far is how hyper and undisciplined he seems in person.
Sir, you've got to unlock at least 3 levels of backstory for that, Commander.
I'm your commanding officer.
I'm sorry, it's or paywalled.
Union doesn't even use money in the inner systems.
So you can't dock or pay.
Dock our license levels, which is even worse.
Yep, Vika gets demoted to a regular old Everest.
No, she just
A
straight
support
up mutiny. Mutiny. I'm just gonna walk into the forest and fight mechs or something, bare hand.
Once you get about 2 days from the base, excuse me, the landscape starts becoming obviously war-torn. There has been fighting. None of it seems to be super recent, but clearly the fighting has gotten back this far at some point. You're also starting to have problems with your comms.
Lovely.
Talking amongst yourselves is still working fine.
Okay.
But more long-distance communication seems to be fairly garbled.
Is it possible, since we're having so much movement, and I'm sort of having Whip kind of more or less take the wheel, if we're just in marching order?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try to hack Invent and see if we can resolve, at least get, in other words, a way to help improve that, or at least stabilize communications.
Okay, give me a roll.
Okay, and in this case, go back, I gotta get out of this pilot roster to here. And create it +2. So that's only a 13.
Okay, this was you only needed a 10 for this one, so.
Alright.
I think, unless there was something special on the. What was it you were rolling?
Invent create.
Then did you add your grit, which would make it a 14?
Oh, 14, yeah.
But it doesn't matter. He said it about a 10 would fix.
Oh, yeah.
Still got to remind you of the grit. And I think he was trying to stabilize comms, is what he was trying to do.
Yep. Essentially, I'm building a signal booster for all intents and purposes.
The rabbit ears.
Hey, turns out, yeah, we've been marching for about 4 days now.
Oh, cool.
Rabbit ears.
Yeah,
I mount
yeah,
him on
that's
your
just-
mech,
that's just
make you
true.
happy.
I acquired a mini human, and she does not like the camera being on while she's in here. So
It's all good.
I figured it was the Hobbit.
It was.
All right.
So 4 days, I hear.
Yes.
Mhm.
4-day march, 2 days out. Stuff looks more war torn. Communication between the mechs is good, but longer distance is becoming garbled, and that's what we're attempting to fix.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Freddy basically slapped together a little signal booster. And it doesn't cut completely through. Like you couldn't radio back. You probably couldn't radio all the way back to your ship.
Mm-hmm.
But you can radio all the way forward to forward base Achilles. So you can at least tell them you're coming now, and you can pick up their transmissions.
Hey, buddy.
Does it
Me.
sound like they're actively like if we hear comm chatter? Does it sound like they're actively like getting attacked?
Not right at the moment, no.
Me having a character's name because I don't have a handout for everybody. It's Freddy.
Yep.
But what was Freddy's call sign? That much I don't remember.
Pay dirt.
Pay dirt?
Pay dirt.
Okay. Since we're in an active war zone. Hey, Pay dirt. When we get some actually stuff, why don't we work on that? See if we can refine it a bit.
Oh, I'm almost certain we can. This is slapdash as it gets right now.
I am good at slapdash.
Yeah, I'm just picturing your eyes slapping somebody and running away real fast.
Slapdash.
It'd be in character.
It's a slapdash challenge. Can you slap your superior officer and get away?
The answer is no.
You can with the metal hand if you knock him out.
Whoops.
Then it's a whole different problem.
Court
Then
martial.
that's one for the court.
But anyway, there's a whole lot of encrypted chatter going back and forth from base Achilles to apparently units in the field.
Do we want to announce our presence in case someone's listening in, like we listened in that one time, or do we want to just listen, and just march?
March in, but probably once we get with what would be within their sensor range, we do announce, because the last thing we want is an artillery strike on us.
Oh yeah, that's the
I don't
last
know.
thing.
It's been a boring
that doesn't
4
sound like
days.
fun at all.
Could do with some entertainment.
Just spice it up with an artillery strike, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
You just spread out, you dodge artillery fire, you charge the base, and then when you get there, you just boot the soldiers on the nose.
Grab the target and be like, okay, we got him, let's go.
Bye. Vroom.
So you continue on.
Mhm.
About a day later, you're hitting about the range that they should be detecting you.
About their sensor range.
And have we picked up anything? You said just a lot of encrypted.
Now, some of these encrypted channels, you can actually, you can hear it. You have the encryption for some of it. And a lot of it is, scouts sending back reports on what they're seeing. There is some combat, not at the base itself, but that they're reporting back on. There seems to be several attempts to communicate further back. Basically, you can tell they're having trouble with their communications equipment too.
Definitely something seems to be jamming.
Yeah. They've cut through it. They've boosted their own stuff enough that they can still communicate with their troops in the general area.
But they just can't get back to like farther away bases.
Yeah, they can't get all the way back to like to y'all's base. That'd be just out.
I wonder.
That's always just a little concerning.
What's in the wonder ball?
Well, how far away did our ship say they'd be? Roughly.
From the from the place he dropped you off, he said he was going to move back a few clicks.
This too.
So,
Basically, once y'all got back to that clearing, everybody marked that
Yeah.
clearing on their map. When you get back to that clearing, he was going to come in and
Yeah.
get you.
He's
we
4
put a
days
waypoint-
of marching back.
Yeah, we put down a waypoint, and now we're heading
Yeah.
out this direction.
So it's
So-
been 5 days now.
Yeah, it'd be 5 at this
This
point.
would be the 5th day. Yes.
so what if we manage to get their signal strong enough to get to the ship? Then we can bounce the signal off of the ship's comms to base. So I've used it as a relay station.
We can't even reach our ship from here.
Yeah. That's saying when we get there and we get their, comm stuff, work on it, see if we can boost the signal, and use the ship as a relay
You're
station.
assuming that
In-
they'll even let us touch it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's. I'm not trying to be a dick, but that's not our job.
It's a...
In a similar vein, as this is like your Raz talking,
Yeah.
we've been picking up. We can't tell if they're our drones or their drones, if they have any. In a similar vein, if they have enough of them, we could send out the drones in a daisy chain in that variety as well.
And yeah, it might not be our job, but hear me out here. To prevent from knocking the dude out and leaving, maybe we do something nice for the base, be all the, oh, look at us, we're going to be all charming, and then maybe he'll want to, leave with us after we help them out.
If it comes to it, but
It would be a bargaining chip if it comes to that.
A
our
little
main goal is
while.
to get them out
Okay.
alive, not fix their communication issues.
As y'all are discussing this, you have an incoming signal. It's from Achilles' base.
Is it forward base or fire base?
It is forward base Achilles.
They are on the front line then.
But
And
it's basically Lancers. Identify yourselves.
this is Union Detachment. And what was the name of our actual...
The workshop.
Yeah, no, not our group. I know we're the workshop. I was trying to remember the actual base we were working at.
We'll just say we're operating out of
Did they
Helios
have a
Neo.
name?
Or
It
not
did.
Helios Neo. Hang on, I have the name here. Oh, it is just called Helios Neo. It's base.
Operating at a Helios Neil?
I mean, that's the name of the planet. Oh,
No.
the city. That's what I was looking at. Pylos.
Yeah.
Union base Pylos.
And you have an identification code
Mhm.
Yeah.
that you put in with that.
Absurdly long number.
Well, you send that to the Meg. You don't necessarily say that.
Yeah.
Or through your comms, I should say.
We just airdrop it to them.
Mhm.
There's a little relief in whoever's speaking's voice. Confirmed workshop will be waiting on your arrival.
And over the comms, I actually ask, what can we expect?
The base has not suffered an attack in over a week. If you don't count all the dad blame drones running around shooting our drones and
Tiana
stopping us from
knocks
getting
on
supplies
metal.
flown in.
Tiana knocks on metal.
Vika and her mech not over comms. Well, gee, that sounds way overdue for an attack.
Yeah. Uriah just in his mech just Reaches into his bag, pulls out a little stick with a red flag on it, and just sticks it in the cockpit.
So you continue approaching. As you come into sight of the base, think of it like a sci-fi fort.
Okay.
It's pretty much a square. The outside walls are all metal. You can tell that they have been repaired quite often.
I'm getting Starship Troopers vibes, and that concerns me.
Now, everything seems to be in good repair. It's just, obviously, it's been goodly repaired a good bit.
Just imagine.
It's well loved.
Just imagine like a new plate is welded on the wall every few days.
But,
Welded a plate and
It's
called it
what
a
we in the
day.
real estate market call a real lived-in feel.
Preventative maintenance.
A real fixer-upper.
You can feel the history.
there's almost no plant life within several hundred yards. The ground has been churned up and it's just...
Did they have a Genghis come through? Good God.
Well, it's like you've had a lot of vehicles moving around, a lot of stuff going on.
Vehicles, explosions, you know.
You know, the base does have some Lancers that operate out of it. But, the front gate is open when you get there, so you're able to move on in. There's heavy armaments, you know, on the towers. It is of course not a base anything like your home base, but but when you get in, the commander of the base, if I can find his name,
Commander Staska.
Griffith.
One with the bear.
Commander Griffin?
Griffith.
Griffith.
And basically, you know, you're directed to a bay hangar to park your frames. And as soon as you get out, you've got a private there. Welcome to Forward Base Achilles. The commander would like to speak with you immediately.
Where's the commander at?
Please follow me.
Okay.
And, quick question. The private that comes out, does it match the alias?
No.
I doubt it's the one we're picking up.
That's...
That'd be too convenient.
Way too convenient.
Commander, like, see you
Just
immediately.
decking
Yeah,
up
well,
on-
we're kind of in a hurry, though. Let's go.
Yoink. Does this rag smell funny?
Oh no.
Yeah, it
What's
kinda
in the
smells like
sack?
chloroform.
Nothing.
Yet.
No, it's a private Spence that y'all have run into. The alias that Phokas is operating under is Albert Horton.
Albert Portman?
Horton.
Horton.
So y'all get ushered in to the command center. And it's like you have the kind of the main command center, and then the commander has his own private office over to one side.
And then what was his real name?
Justin
Justin
Phokas.
Focus.
Just in focus. Got it. I remember that now.
Yeah, we had this whole conversation about it.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right, so y'all get ushered into his office. Well, this is an unexpected surprise.
They didn't tell you we were coming?
Is this? Have you had any communications with the rear lately?
We were receiving communications when the jamming suddenly went into effect.
Yeah, we've been encountering that as well.
Yeah, it's been a real pain. We managed to kind of power through it locally, but they were sending a priority message when it cut out. Something about extracting somebody, but it got garbled, and we weren't sure what it was.
Well, that's kind of what we're here for.
Actually, that is precisely what we're here for.
Who is it that you're... He gets the look on his face, but it's like he's asking the question just
Just
there's
because
a-
he knows the answer.
just to
but
dot the I's across the T's and make sure.
Yep.
Who exactly is it that you have been sent to extract?
Then Albert Horton.
Well, we have one of those on base, yes. And he motions to the private. Why don't you step outside and shut the door for a moment? The private steps out and shuts the door. So, and once it's just you guys in the room with the commander. So what exactly do you know about Private Horton?
enough.
Senator's son, and we got told to come fetch him home. His identity
Yes.
been compromised, and it's
Yes.
seen as a liability.
Yeah, Albert Horton is an alias that he has been working under. He is, in fact, it's obvious that I'm like looking something up for a second. He is the son of Basil Phokas.
The commander nods. All right. That was, of course, something I was supposed to keep under my hat. Clearly, you already know. And he pulls up his computer, and he takes your information, and he's double checking as best he can on your identities.
Part of the reason why we were sent is, unfortunately, it seems they know he's Basil's son as well.
That would definitely make us a bigger target. So if that's
Yeah.
the case, though, why have they not attacked us in the last week?
Consolidation of forces, consolidation of armaments, planning, recon, scouting.
Heard that
Waiting for an
5
extraction.
frames were going to come up here, and are like, oh, we could take those frames.
I've got a question for you.
Mhm.
And this kind of hits. With your intel that you've gathered locally, have you determined if the jamming is also hindering the enemy as well?
We have not been able to determine that. We assume if they're the ones doing the jamming... Of course, that's us assuming. But we've been assuming they were doing the jamming. Though, if it's affecting both of us... Yeah, but then somebody's got to be doing it, so...
When did the jamming start?
He said a week ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, give or take.
So
Essentially, in the time that... Because that means the jamming has been occurring in the time that we've been walking here.
Or right before
Because
y'all
we've been-
left, one or the other, yeah.
Yeah, because we walked 5 days to get here.
How much you wanna bet it's Justin?
That's a sucker bet.
Triggers know this is Jason we're talking about. Every MacGuffin, every single person we meet is secretly the big bad.
Hey, if you think they're all the big bad, you're never surprised when they are.
Why does it have to be a big bad? This is two countries at war. That kind of crap happens all the time. It doesn't have to be a big bad.
Plot twist, we're the big bad.
Well, that would depend on who
Down for
started the
that.
war, wouldn't it? All right. Yes, if they've uncovered Phokas's presence here, then we do need to get him out, both for his own safety and not to draw any extra attention to us. Though Achilles' base gets plenty of attention.
Except for the length of time that the jamming system has been.
You said you have been attacked on the week the jammings happened, correct? At least direct attack.
Correct. I mean, a little scouting forays and no concentrated attacks.
Is there like some kind of wood here?
No, it's like all prefab.
Okay, fair enough.
Mm,
Uriah walks over to the nearest table and just on it.
I don't think that's son. I don't think that's actual wood, but
That's what we got.
Okay,
Private?
and
the private sticks his head back in the door. He tap it at the tops, shows him a picture of Phokas. I need you to go fetch Private Horton. I don't know where he's at. Just try to find him and bring him in here. And
Well, that's
And-
one nice sentence.
Private
Commander?
Spence takes off.
and Griffith, has the jamming affected your drones at all?
We're having the same trouble communicating with them. We're having to communicate with anything. Our engineers have managed to boost our signal enough that we can function close in, and the drones are capable of acting independently to some degree. Particularly the hunter-killer ones. So you have a few minutes where he talks to you about the Union military. He's never been off world, so. And y'all are talking. He's sort of checking the watch every now and then.
And
Finally, he tries to call Private Spence, and he doesn't get an answer.
Oh, great.
Called it.
we have had. I try our comms for a bit.
You can call each other just fine. When he doesn't get Spence, he tries somebody else, and they pick up immediately.
And it's a manhunt.
Yep.
He immediately puts the base on yellow
Goose
alert.
chase.
Well, if it's a goose chase, I want to shoot the goose. We don't do that.
He wants Spence located. He wants Horton located. He puts in basically codes that will allow the MPs to track them to their comms. Find my phone basically.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants both of them brought here immediately. 5 minutes later, one of the MPs calls him back. They have found Private Spence's body.
That took a quick and sudden turn. Okay.
Yay!
Yep.
Here we go.
It's still a manhunt. It's just for a different man.
And a different reason.
I think I cut out for a second, dude.
What was the last thing?
I-
What was the last thing you heard me say?
We
found
were
his body.
waiting. We got manhunt. He was sending out the MPs.
They found Spence's body. The private that he sent off
Is
to fetch
Yeah.
Horton. They found his body,
I'm going to
does that
go
go
get
from yellow
my
to red?
Lancer.
stuffed into a locker in the bunk, or in one of the barracks.
I
A minute after that, they have found Horton's comm unit
Mm-hmm.
tossed in a trash can.
Does that go
Am
from
I
yellow
allowed
to
to
red
like
then?
knock him out and throw him over my shoulder now?
Yes.
The commander gets up and leaves the room. It kind of motions for y'all to follow or whatever.
Yep.
When we follow to the area, would it be possible for me to do a quick investigate?
If y'all are being followed, where?
No. Where Spence's body was found, where the comms was thrown in the trash.
Okay. Well, the comm was thrown in the trash. Not too far from the
Body.
bunk at. From the barracks. I don't know why. I was having trouble with that word. Basically, in a trash can, I was like back behind, like the next bunk over. These bunks are up. They're not flush with the wall. You got like an alleyway kind of back behind them, between them and the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And the base is already on lockdown.
Yeah, well, they went to yellow alert just when Spence didn't respond.
And now
He
it's
flips up to
locked
red
down.
alert. You see the main gates are swinging shut.
So this guy's a captain? Commander?
Commander.
The base commander's it's a commander.
Commander. I'm going to need to see your comm system.
Is now really the time?
Yep.
He's really good with his hands.
And with all
Alright.
due respect, the private isn't getting
We're-
any better.
Very well. And he tells you kind of where the communication center hub is.
And you're right.
And he radios ahead, so his people his people already there will know to cooperate with you or whatever.
And not shoot
Yeah,
you on sight.
He and I are both engineers and specialize in this sort of thing when it comes to comms, anyway.
All right, so the rest of you carry on.
Tiana's gonna, if they'll let her look and see how the private was killed,
Okay.
and then look around the area where the comm was.
So it sounds like you and Freddy are both investigating the scene.
Yes.
So the two of you can both give me a roll.
Do you have the investigate or?
I have spot, so I
Okay,
can spot
so-
details.
Okay, so we're going two different directions.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Want to see if we were getting the advantage or not. Accuracy, that's the word for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
Okay,
roll a
Car,
20.
just roll a 20.
Yep.
That's how it works.
So that would be a 18 for me.
Okay. So Tiana immediately starts examining the body. Of course, some of the base medics are on their way, but y'all get there first. Just with the command center being a little more central. So there's a little bit of blood on kind of the back of his head, down almost where the neck and the head connect. But But mostly, you start looking around and the wound is mostly cauterized. Not
Is it weaponry?
completely. It's a very small entrance wound. You're not sure what kind of device did this, but you're picturing like a superheated ice pick.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a small spike. It was obviously very hot because it at least partially cauterized the wound.
Right.
Like I said, right in the back. On the bright side, he probably didn't realize it was coming and probably didn't feel a thing.
And with that roll, would I see if there was a struggle around the area or anything?
Well, you're not really sure where this would have happened at. He was stuffed in a locker.
Oh, okay. So I can assume that it didn't happen in the barracks, probably.
If so, he didn't put up any kind of fight.
Yep. I relay that to my group over our private comms, and then to the medics.
And
Patrick, you're out back where they found his comm unit. Looking it over. Where it would clip on, you can see some sign that they pried it off. And there's also a little bit of blood on it. Like if it's on his arm, it's like maybe some blood ran down his arm and kind of pooled on that end of it. Not a whole lot, not like somebody.
When they
was
yanked
bleeding.
it off, it like scraped him.
But yeah, something like that. And like I said, where it clips together, you can tell there's signs that it was forced apart. Like they stuck a screwdriver or some kind of pry something in there and popped it loose. Like maybe they were unfamiliar with the particular make and model he had. And it is a little bit a higher dollar one than most of the soldiers have.
But even with the described weapon that Rabbit found, would it sound like something this planet would be capable of producing?
Oh, sure.
Okay. Making sure this wasn't like an off-world kind of thing.
Oh, it could be. But a superheated spike is not that hard for anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really wanted to, you could do that with our technology today.
Yeah.
Another thing Tiana would have noticed though was the precision of the strike itself. Whoever did this knew exactly what they were doing, exactly where they were going for.
Okay, so some form of, AKA assassin and or sniper, or some kind of good sharpshooter.
Well, the wound is more like coming up from below.
Okay. Sorry, I thought you were talking about it went straight.
No.
Straight in. Okay. So very much hand to hand.
Yep. The commander's fairly upset about losing somebody. He's ordering the MPs to sweep the entire area. He's giving orders. Nobody out of the base. Everybody's on alert. He wants everybody dressed, everybody armed. They're locking down the command center. They're locking down the communications building. Uriah, you of course got into the communications building by then. What is it you're trying to do?
With my role, could I tell that it was done in the last few minutes? Done in the last,
and
because we were in the office for a while.
You were in the office for 5 or 10, or for 10 or 15 minutes.
Okay.
Because we saw him leave
Mhm.
the building to go get him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the body is still. I mean,
Well, yeah, I just wanted to.
He's still warm.
Yeah,
at this point.
if you check his temperature, he's probably cooled off a little bit, but just touching him, you can't really tell.
Okay.
You know, it hadn't been long enough for the blood to really be pooling much. You know, if you have a body sitting there for a while, whatever direction it's laying, you'll start getting like bruises.
Since I just kind of thought about this, since I found the comms, a good little something, take a little of the blood that was pulled from the comm as it was broken off. I get a little sample of that, see if Rabbit can look at it. This way, at least we can confirm it's Phokas' blood.
That's not a bad idea.
She'd have to have his records.
I'm sure the base would have them. Particularly if he's missing, we'd probably get them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right, Uri. You're in the you get to the comms unit while they're still moving towards the barracks. You know, you walk in, the people there were expecting you. The commander said we were supposed to cooperate with you, but he didn't say what it was we were cooperating with you to do.
How good is your tracking of internal communications?
Well, all the official base communications come through here. Individual soldiers could use their, individual people with their own comm units could do just peer to peer if they wanted to.
Are you able to trace those?
Not really.
All right, I need to see every communique that came through here in the last 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay, and they go and they pull it up.
He's going to meticulously read through every single one of them.
Do you have investigate?
I do not.
Do you have any triggers that you think would help you with this?
No, probably not.
So just roll 20.
Yeah, you can still make a roll. 20 plus your grit.
Yeah, my brain was sitting there going, invent or create, because it does say new approaches to problems, but I'm sitting there going, what kind of new approach would he be doing, though?
Yeah, he's just pouring through information here.
Yeah. 6.
No, you're not really. I mean, there's been a lot of, different departments in the base are communicating with each other all the time. Nothing's really standing out to you.
What was the private's name?
The one that died?
Yes.
Spence.
Spence. Can you find anything in here between Private Spence and the base commander?
The commander's info should come through here, and you can find where
he'll. With that 6, he'll use the excuse he's still not the best at reading this planet's language yet.
Question. We have Horton's comms. Did they find Spence's comm on him?
Yeah, that's how they found his body.
Oh, okay.
They just traced it right to
the locker.
But yeah, you find where you can easily find, when you're asking them that, they can easily pull up, you see the last communication that was unanswered that he sent. You can see where he sent him something about the time y'all were arriving. Presumably the orders to go down and meet y'all.
Okay.
You know, and if you go to like the previous day or something, there's a few more. You know.
Mhm. And Horton is the alias for the other guy?
Yes.
Correct.
Could you find Private Hortons for me? He's currently MIA.
Oh, is that what the lockdown's about?
Hmm.
Or the? Let's see. Yeah, it's still be a red alert by now.
I don't have all the specifics, but I assume so.
You know, they pull up his like, yeah, doesn't look like he's been getting anything except the you know, base alerts. You know when he's on duty, if he's being called somewhere. You know.
Okay.
You know, now you know. If he was doing peer to peer with people he's friends with, we wouldn't have a record of that.
Understandable.
You know, and even with the jamming, peer to peer works fine within the base generally.
I'll get back to that. He'll pull out his comm and is like, "Hey guys, do you currently have Private Horton's comm with you?"
Freddie, I believe you were looking at it.
Yes.
Oh,
Well,
good.
because he's in communications, he went off on our own ways.
Yeah.
Is there any obvious like drag marks or anything on the ground where the comm was dropped?
If you got some kind of spot, go ahead and give me that.
I do.
Yeah. And
That's
while
what I used before.
yeah, while Talon
Yeah.
is doing that, Uriah say, "I need y'all to do a thing for me. So comms
Describe the thing.
17.
comms can't track peer-to-peer connection. Y'all think you could pull something from it? See if you can't find any peer-to-peer communique from the comm badge?
All right. Because I do have hack or fix. I could probably try to actually get into there.
I'll assist.
All right, so the two of you are trying to hack. To answer, Carr, your question, yes, there are some obvious drag marks.
Okay, I'm going to like pop a button on my hard suit and go invisible. And I'm gonna follow the tracks
Okay.
if I can.
We'll give you a tracking roll here in a second.
I assume that would still use my spot.
Yeah, I
I'm
would
trying
think
to
so.
find details. Okay.
I would think so. All right, so Freddie, I think you're making the roll.
And
I'm
if he's
assisting.
Cortev is assisting, so that gives you accuracy.
accuracy a d6, yeah.
While doing that, I was like, and while y'all are doing that, I'm going to 23. That ain't bad.
Yeah.
Let me see
No,
if I
not
can
bad,
help
though.
with their comm systems a bit.
All right. So the two of you start tinkering. You know, you're trying to bring the thing open. You realize it uses a like biometrics. You're scratching your head. You're scratching your head for a second, then you realize, oh wait, and you just take some of that blood off the edge and wipe it across the sensor, and it opens up. Luckily, it was still relatively warm.
I mean, if it works.
All right. And what do we have?
The most recent communication, somebody named Smith, R. Smith, asked Horton to meet him in the bunker. Oh, not bunker, barracks.
I will.
And the name's R. Smith. There's like, you know, a identifying number and stuff too.
Well, let's run that number then.
It's another soldier here on the base. It's one of the MPs, actually.
I get Commander Griffith on the line.
He's with
Right
y'all.
there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he
Okay,
he came to the
Site. Okay. I just the second I saw this, I immediately point that out to the commander. R. Smith requested Horton to meet him at the barracks just prior.
he immediately contact the MPs, and he wants Ronald Smith brought to him immediately.
He's dead too.
He's in the locker next to Spence.
Let's say as he's hearing that over the comm, Uriah go. Need y'all to track R. Smith for me now. See if you can't pull anything on him.
They pull up R. Smith. I don't usually make rolls for NPCs. Give me an investigate roll, Uriah. With accuracy.
Okay.
As you're basically you're coming up with the ideals, and you're having these guys do the actual work. Since they read the language better.
Yeah. 17.
Okay. That's pretty good. They have no record of him contacting Private Horton. But, peer to peer, they wouldn't.
Yeah.
But they've stumbled across something weird.
How weird we talking?
He used his Smith used his comm to tap, run a signal through the main comm units. And send it somewhere out of the base. Like not like a regular broad beam. It was a very focused.
It was a focused message to somewhere.
Where?
Okay.
And that somewhere was not in the base, and we know
it was not in the base, and it was not back the way y'all came from.
Yeah, so
it was more out towards the actual front
line.
Okay, so Uriah,
which
kept his comm line open, so the rest of the team heard that as it was being read out. Commander,
Okay, on the other hand,
I believe it'd be an interest if I can boost your signal a little bit more. Wouldn't you say?
Do whatever you need to.
Aye.
And Uriah, while you're there,
yeah,
you've got the direction the transmission went to, correct? You said it was a focused beam?
It was a focus, looks like a tight beam band directed toward the front line, yes. So common sense, although margin of error would dictate it could be the opposing side.
Not just that. Considering it was a tight beam, is there a way to judge how far away that message was sent?
Depending on signal strength. I can see about correlating that.
Okay.
And I'll give that a shot.
Do so.
And that's hack fix, and I'm pretty sure you got that one.
I do. Although I don't think this would be under mechanic.
Let's see here. I don't know if hack fixes it.
I mean, if he's trying to boost the signal, that would be fixing their signal, I guess.
Well, not so much boost the signal. Essentially, he's trying to piggyback that signal essentially we're trying to triangulate the position of where the transmission went to.
Yeah, go ahead and use Hacker Fix.
Okay.
You got the guys in the communication center helping you, so that's an accuracy.
Accuracy. Okay. $11. So.
Ooh, just barely.
Mm-hmm.
Given that it was tight beam, and the further out it went, the more it would spread, and the more the jamming would start to affect it at that point.
Yeah.
And the angle that the actual dish altered for this signal.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a ground-based target.
Okay.
Somewhere within, I was about to say 2 miles, but they don't use miles. 4 clicks.
Okay. Hey, Paydirt, you mind activating your holocom real quick?
Turn it on.
All right,
And he'll broadcast a sort of this is the general area where the transmission was received. And it's not perfect because the further out it gets, the wider the tight beam goes because signal degradation plus jamming. So rough estimate, but
And I turn to Griffin and go, do you know of any known enemy locations in that area? From scouting or anything like that?
No, I mean there have been fights over that way, but nothing too recently. It's all kind of hilly terrain right over there.
you say hills.
Yes.
Bash, you know the term. Hills have eyes.
I really don't think the hills here do, though. But they probably have guns.
Or
Give 'em the
bunkers.
hope.
Or other lancers.
Anyway, I'm going to work on that system now. I'll keep my comm open for you all. And I'm going to spend the rest of this scene, while we're in narrative mode, doing an invent and create to try to make a better boosting system.
Okay.
And
unless I'm specifically called out for something, I should say.
Yeah, because the one thing I thought, since we actually figured out when he sent it, do we have a timestamp? That was essentially right, more or less what we can assume, right when he had probably captured Phokas.
The signal he sent out was maybe a few minutes before y'all walk through the front gate.
So he knew we were here for Phokas, and was trying to extract him before we could.
That is certainly a possibility.
Okay.
Rabbit's still trying to follow the tracks.
Sorry, Carl, I'd almost completely forgotten about that.
No, you're good. I was waiting until they got done. It's all good.
All right, and you rolled a 17 for that, so that was a success.
No, I hadn't rolled yet. I got a 12 for that.
Oh, okay, the 17 was for spotting the tracks.
Because I was following the tracks, and you said we were going to do another roll for that.
So the tracks drag, staying behind the barracks. There's multiple barracks lining this wall.
Mm.
They drag back a ways until they get to the last barracks. And then you can kind of tell that they laid him down.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of footprints and moving around. And after that, there's no more drag marks. But it's like the other people's footprints. And it's not like real regular. It's, this is just hard packed dirt here, but where you're finding the prints every now and then, they seem to be leaving firmer prints. Leads you to believe they were carrying him at this point.
Okay.
Probably in something. So since they cover some open ground.
They probably put him like on a stretcher or something like that, something to tie him down to.
And it seems to be going towards the mess hall.
She's in her stealth heart suit, so she's invisible at the moment. But she'll come over comms and say, "I have Prince going towards the mess hall."
Yep.
And she's gonna go that way.
Yep.
The commander starts to go to hit something, and then stops himself.
Yeah, I was about to say, we
Damn,
probably...
If one of my MPs is compromised, then more of them could be. Shit.
She's gonna keep
And he
going.
pulls his sidearm out.
I was like, hell, Griff, it's like we're doing this the old-fashioned way.
Yep.
You hear from the comm, don't worry, I have grenades.
Good thing I recertified on this thing recently.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll have time to do that signal booster before joining them.
You can stay and do the signal booster, or you can join them.
Or I can join them. Okay. I guess I'll say, hey Bash, if you need some heavier ordnance, I have some grenades. Want to swing by and grab them?
Well, I'm disappointed you did not expect me to bring my own.
If you need more,
I have grenades and thermite.
have fun.
And he probably hears over the comm like the fists tapping together. I'm armed.
Ting, ting, ting.
Cling,
Yes,
cling,
you
cling.
are.
Clang, clang, clang.
I hope you enjoy and that they
These
work quite well.
mitts.
As he basically made like the power fists from Fallout.
Of course you would.
They're still not accurate, but when you can knock someone on their butt, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: if you hit and you knock them down, they become prone, which means accuracy.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
So once
Which
you've knocked them
means-
down, then the brutality you're really good at.
Mhm, mhm.
I'm just imagining that scene from Hulk Force, like, go sleep, go sleep, go sleep, go sleep, go sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. So in that case, yeah, Uriah will stay and work on maximizing as much of the power as he can out of that.
All right, so the rest of you are headed towards
their base comms.
the mess hall.
Want me to go ahead and make that roll?
Yeah, if you want to.
Okay.
This would be invent create. You've got people helping you, and access to the whatever equipment the base has got. So definitely advantage or accuracy.
How much accuracy then? Because I am also mechanic.
I guess that got you 2 accuracy then.
Okay. All right. So, oh jeez, 13.
It says 15 for me.
Well, yeah, because
Yeah.
I rolled 2d6, and you only take the highest number.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
If you
that's
roll
right.
multiple accuracy die, it's whatever the highest number
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Got it. Okay.
So
Still a
3
success though.
plus 10.
So it's taking you some time.
Yeah.
By the time they're finished in the mess hall, you'll be done. But you have succeeded. You'll be able to communicate with the wider area.
I rolled a 3, so that's a 15. Your license level 1.
My invent create has a +5 right now, so
I have a +6 in patch, so
All right,
6.
Tiana, you'd get to the mess hall first because you were in the lead.
I did a skill focus up, so that's why I have 6. Okay. She's gonna keep following the tracks. Do they go
Okay.
into the mess hall?
They do, though not in the front. They go around to the back, like a kitchen entrance.
Okay. Is the door open?
It's closed. It's not locked or anything, though.
Is there a window?
Not. There's windows at the front of the mess, but not necessarily the back.
Essentially, he wants to make them think the place isn't haunted.
I mean, I'm invisible, but she's gonna walk around to where she can see into a window and see if she can see anything in the window.
Okay, so you approach from like the side. If you go further back behind it, you can see a window there that it's like there's a sink here and there's a window and there's a dude there washing a bunch of dishes.
Someone got the worst duty.
Sure, they could automate that, but then how do they punish people? They don't have KP duty.
Exactly.
Yep.
So does it
I
actually
mean,
go into the back of the kitchen? That they go into the back of the mess hall?
The door that you saw, the track kind of stop at, that would walk him into the back area of the kitchen. Like this guy washing dishes would have seen that door, would have seen somebody come through that door. Well, potentially, he seems to be really focused on his dishes.
She relays this to her team.
How can you tell how spaced out their feet were? Because if they shoved them in a box, they'd be closer together than if they were on a stretcher.
Could I tell that?
Not with 100% certainty, because it's not like just a constant stream of footprints. It's there every now and then. But yeah, they do seem to be kind of shuffled together.
Okay, I relay that.
And there's maybe more variety of prints after that section where they clearly stop for a minute.
So probably more than 2.
Mm-hmm.
You're confident more than 2, yes. Whether it's 3 or 4 or 5.
Because if they walked him in with a stretcher, that guy would have noticed. If they saw 2 guys carrying a box, then that's less conspicuous.
Mm-hmm. She's gonna go back to the back door, and she's gonna say, "I'm at the back door."
Okay. You wait for just a minute, and everybody else is caught up with you.
Yep.
The commander doesn't hesitate. He just walks right to the door.
Does anybody go in through the front, or is everyone at the back door?
Nico, you and me want to take the front?
Go around back, as that way someone's with Tia. Aside from the commander.
You're expecting to see Tia there, and there's nothing there.
I can handle the front.
All right.
So Vika goes around to the front. And there's people, it's the mess hall. There's people sitting in there eating.
Yeah.
There's people serving. The side door opens up into the actual back area.
If there's get in line, grab some food, she'll just kind of grab a small something, just kind of position herself and be watching folks.
Okay. So those of you at the back, like I said, the commander opens the door and walks in.
Yep.
Tiana just walks in behind him.
And
back up, yay.
Yep, I'll follow.
The dishwasher, notices the door and then realizes the commander, and he, drops what he's doing and, salutes.
And
brings his hand up, a little bit of soap suds flies into his hand.
Drips down into his eye.
then I'll actually ask, did you see anybody come through this rear entrance?
Just some guys making a delivery.
Which direction did they go?
He points further back. They went back into the storage area there.
I relay that to Vika.
Is the storage area something she can see from where she's at?
If it's only... You can see a couple of walkways, or like hallways that lead into the back. It's like you've got the area where they serve the food. Then there's like a hallway over here that goes to the back, which would probably connect to that door everybody was going in. And there's another one on the other side.
Okay.
There's a sign over there also identifying that the restrooms are down that way. So there's 2 ways to get to the back from where you're at. 3 if you count, jumping over the serving area.
That's Uriah's job.
Uriah method.
That's a Uriah kind of thing.
She'll act like she's going towards the restroom and just kind of keep an ear out for
Okay.
anything that
I mean,
may be going on.
She is his twin, so
She could also
Yeah.
probably easily vault something considering her height.
Mm-hmm. Just step over it.
Yeah, just she steps over it.
Mhm.
Well,
So the commander starts heading towards the.
storage room.
Okay, what are the rest of y'all doing? I mean,
follow
Vika's
the
already said.
commander.
Rabbit, as soon as she hears storage room, Rabbit's probably ahead of the commander and trying to get there before anyone else.
Okay. Cortev?
He's just kind of Overwatch, but not quite.
Okay.
He is Overwatch. That's all I know.
Give me a like spot roll.
Spot roll?
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure. Get back on con. I don't have anything here. 13.
Okay. So you're keeping your head on a swivel. Everybody rushes past. You know, the dishwasher's still sitting there. You know, and once the commander is
Can I put my
clearly
head
not paying
down?
any attention. And then you see him slide his hand under his apron and come out with a gun.
Very move quickly.
Get somewhere quick.
All right,
some
it looks
quick.
like he's drawing the beat on the commander. I mean, it could be any of y'all, but you get the impression he's drawing the beat on like the back of the commander's head.
Move somewhere quick and then just like I don't
So you-
I don't have a lot of weight, but I can use the momentum of my movement to tackle him.
All right, so just you're trying to fly and
Other-
tackle. Okay.
He doesn't have the strength, but he has the mass.
Do you have
I
a
the
trigger?
agility. Yeah.
Oh, you
Get
said
somewhere
moving
quick.
somewhere fast.
Yep.
Wait, it's moving somewhere fast really for attacking though. No, we kind of did that earlier, but
It's not necessarily that I want to attack. I want to disarm or enable this to not.
Get
You're
there
right.
quickly
He wants to
before
go.
he does his
yeah,
thing.
the speed is the most important part. You're not
Yes.
going to damage the guy necessarily with this, but unless if you get a crit, I'd probably let you go ahead and damage him
Yeah,
as well.
get
Sure.
get some more quick without complications, but with speed, not necessarily stealth.
All right, give me a roll. then.
Chase, flee,
You've got-
outrun, or pace the target.
I've got a +6.
You got the anime speed lines, so you charge the man.
I got +6. I got a 20.
Nice.
So we will go ahead and knock a couple of health
Oh,
off. this
sorry,
guy.
+7, so 21.
So you run, you smack into him. You know, you kind of slam him against the sink. You know, one of his elbows goes down into the dishwater. The gun goes off.
Yep.
But just up into the ceiling.
Yep. Pew.
Vika, everybody in the mess hall, like, it's coming out of their seats.
I feel like I have him like behind his arm like that, like gentle persuasion.
Gentle persuasion. Anyone looking less surprised and more, oh shit, it's go time?
Give me a spot to roll. Now, all the rest of y'all back there, you know, the commander is spun around when he hears the gunshot.
Tiana's still going towards the
Okay.
storage.
Would that, would I add anything in particular? Like, is that a set thing or just add the grid if I
there's
don't
an
have
insight
any
roll.
triggers?
There's an insight trigger, but if you don't have it, then that's probably one of the.
Yeah,
only
I don't
ones
think
that
I
can
do.
think of.
She's not very insightful.
Yeah.
Bless her.
Just a d20 plus your grit, then.
Grit.
Just roll a 20.
I mean, how hard can it be?
I did, and I rolled a
did.
14 and got a 20.
That is another 20.
Yeah, no, that's not 20. She gets a little bit too many people run into her. She's more concentrated on like, would you stop running into me?
You're
Yeah,
so
a
big.
lot of people. Some people are milling around, like sure what to do. Several people are just running toward. You know, they heard the gunshot from the back. They're moving to the back.
She's gonna move that direction and make herself very big and very loud, saying, "Move out of the way!"
And you got some people that park, you know, that jump out of the way, and then realize they don't know you.
And
Take it up with. She has big F off gauntlets on. Take it up with her.
suddenly in storage. Oh yeah!
She wishes an MFer would.
She really does.
All right, so Tiana, you're back among, there's a storage room over here with shelves. There's some of the like coolers and freezers and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Do I see anything like people or otherwise?
Give me a spot.
17.
Okay.
Really a lot of 17s on spot.
You're just observant enough.
What was that? Oh, yes. Over in the storage area, you hear somebody moving around.
I'm keeping my eye on that area, but I'm trying to see if I can get a better look. I'm not trying to get close. I'm just trying to see if I can get a
Well,
better
you got the
look
stealth suit thing going on right now, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And,
it doesn't go off until it doesn't go away until I take damage. So as long as she's not stupid, she's fine.
Or as
and-
long as you don't trip over something or make noise.
Yeah, exactly.
You creep into that room, and you see somebody crouching down behind like some of the crates. He's got a gun out. He's in an MP uniform.
Do I only see the one guy?
That's all you see.
To be fair, that's a normal reaction to hearing gunfire in your mess hall.
And-
She's gonna like where she can keep an eye on the whole area, but she's gonna like stay back and not try and not make a sound or do anything. She's just gonna
Did
keep
we
an eye.
ever get a picture of what was his name? Mr. Smith.
You did not.
Hmm.
Things were happening too quickly. It really just was not a matter of time.
Thing.
He
Yeah.
had ordered the other MPs to find this guy. So
Yeah. And also, after Jeremy tackles the gentleman, where he's trying to do forceful persuasion, there is now a shotgun up against his forehead.
Okay,
Do not.
Cortev, there's a
Drop it.
shotgun up against your forehead.
Not mine.
Oh,
No.
that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I say, drop it.
let's see. Do you have a charm or an intimidate?
Yes. Because that's one of the... Considering the things that I realize I might have to be the face of the party, I took charm.
All right, give yourself an accuracy for having the gun just on his face already.
Alright.
So it's a 26.
26.
When you start talking, he looks real defiant. And then that cold metal presses against his forehead. He's like,
Drop.
And he
Reconsider my options.
he opens his hand and the pistol falls down into the soapy water.
And then I politely ask, where is Horton?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Would I able to have any restraints on me? Like just even like little zip ties or something?
You're not a cop.
However, while he's got the gun barrel to him, here's a clang. I press my toolbox, and a pair of cuffs pop out.
Oh, that's right. You've got that little printer thing with you. Yeah.
Yep.
Hang on. Grab him and then just
So
restrain his hands.
the commander sees all that. And, as soon as he clocks, y'all got that under control. That dude is unarmed and restrained. He turns around and keeps heading. Vika, you have stepped out into the back room.
Tiana's gonna go behind a crate and then, like, as quietly as she can, send her location to the others
Okay.
without saying anything.
Essentially, you text us, just type it in the
pretty
comms.
much.
More.
Yeah, pretty much. This is an MP pointing gun down hallway here in this location.
And what
All
I
right,
hear
Vika, you're the
that-
closest. You're the closest one to that location right now.
Because like finally something I'm good at.
Oh. And as the commander's running down that way, after I hear that, I let the commander know. He's got a. There's someone in the storage room with a gun pointing down that way.
He nods.
This way, so he doesn't just run straight in and get shot.
No,
Vika-
he's gonna do that.
Yeah, Vika, if you look to your right, you see the commander and this horde of your buddies coming this way. If you look to your left, just a 6 or 10 feet down. What an odd measurement. You can see the doorway that would go into that room that Tiana said she's in. And then on the other side, there's coolers and freezers and stuff.
Yeah. It's
Eh,
it's like any time we play Call of Cthulhu, and I'm pretty sure 2 sticks of dynamite will do this. Let's round this up to 20.
And Tiana is gonna basically Overwatch, and if someone tries to shoot her friend, she's shooting the person.
never one for subtlety. Vika's just gonna use get somewhere quick to get into the room while trying to dodge any fire that might come her way, since she is aware that there is a gun.
All right. Give me a roll for that.
In true Vika
I'm just-
fashion, as you burst in,
Through
pull
the wall.
door. No, not,
Oh,
not through the
yeah.
wall. Push through the door and use the door as cover.
I think the door is open.
Yes, the door is open.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dang.
So
This is a room. It doesn't have like a closing door on it.
really, could I roll something other than a 7?
No, apparently you couldn't. Luckily, you have a buddy on Overwatch. So you see
Yeah.
Vika come barreling around the corner.
Oh yeah.
And it's like she's trying to dodge, but you realize she's dodging right into the line of fire. And that dude is definitely getting ready to fire.
Okay.
He just saw this
so-
behemoth come through the door.
So I roll a 1d20.
Please just roll a 20.
I roll a 1d20 and then I add my grit. But then because I take someone out, I add a +2 to that, correct?
Correct. Oh, wait. It's the... Yeah, skill focus.
He rolled a
Skill
20,
triggers
didn't
are
he?
I rolled a 22.
Just roll a 20.
My
roll a
stealth
20.
is still engaged. It's if I take damage. And
So-
as soon as she shoots,
So the
she's
MP would
repositioning.
see the muzzle flash.
Yeah, but as soon as she shoots, she's it's a energy weapon. I don't know if they have muzzle flash.
Well, the entire beam would be a flash
Yeah,
then.
that's true. But as soon as she
Depending
fires, she's
if,
going to be
depending if the
repositioned.
beam was visible.
But
It's science fiction.
it's anime sci-fi. The beams are
Yeah.
very visible.
Visible.
Yeah, she
Gotcha.
pops the guy and then she repositions is what she's going to do.
How much damage do you do?
2 damage. So
They're
if you
visible
wanted,
and capable of causing
because
a
it's above
seizure.
20, that would be 4, I guess, if you wanted to do it that way.
Yeah, we will do it that way.
Overwatching rabbit here. It's
You've found your niche.
apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So you see a shot go over the other side of the room. The guy in the MP outfit kind of yells. His shot goes off, but it goes way wide, though he was clearly shooting at you.
There's some choice words said, and then she pretty much just tries to rush and tackle the guy and hold him down.
All right.
She might punch him once in the face just because.
All right.
Congratulations, you are now bear.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. You do have that upgrade.
Yeah, but it's also inaccurate.
Still.
Just roll a
I'm gonna
20.
go with her trying to just give him an affectionate tackle
All right.
and
Give me a
maybe
roll.
unintentionally punch him in the face. Would
You'll hear over the comms. Be careful. There's probably more than one in here. I only saw the one.
information I could have used on the text would stay cool applying this. Perform a task that requires concentration, dexterity, speed, or precision under pressure.
That doesn't sound combat oriented exactly, though.
Well, I mean, staying cool while under fire is kind of what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
go
doesn't
ahead and use
really-
it.
Okay.
That's the only thing I can
Because
think.
you've also got to apply fist to face, which also isn't a perfect fit for what you're doing.
Yeah, I've got 4 for apply face to face, but I'll use a stay cool.
Okay.
A little bit better, an 11.
That's a success.
She will just. She's not so much going in for the attack, but she's going to make sure he is definitely secured. And giant bear hug. She might lift him up off the floor. Feet may be dangling.
So all y'all outside, we all hear that second multiple gunfights in there. The commander gets up right to the door. He's like, his back right, next to the door. I'm going to assume he would have gotten all y'all's names, even though we didn't specifically go over it. Vika.
Or at least, yep.
He glances around. He sees you sitting there just holding the guy up off the ground.
This yours, sir?
I thought he was. He comes in like, clearing the rest of the room. But it seems like the two of you are alone in there.
I'm assuming with him being an MP, he got something on him to secure hands, so I'll let you do that while I'm
Yeah.
keeping
And he
it
walks
set.
over and he digs out the guy's cuffs and,
Cuffing a man with his own cuffs.
digs around in the pockets till he comes up with the keys. So he doesn't leave the keys with the guy.
Is there such a thing as scanning for like biosignals? I assume Freddy or Cortev would have that, but
I don't have thermal goggles or anything like that.
Yeah, I
If
think
you were in your frames, I'm sure you could.
yeah, in the frame.
Sure.
Yeah,
Good luck fitting that into the mess hall, though.
for now.
Challenge accepted.
Everyone rolling up with half-size frames.
That's all it would take.
Rig.
But you have.
I think 2 of us are planning on taking size half rigs.
I think so.
You
Yep.
and Rap, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, you have Smith secured now.
She'll put his feet back on the floor, but just kind of keep a good grip on his shoulder. Maybe a little bit too tight.
Do any of the boxes look out
The
of
wounded
place?
shoulder or the unwounded shoulder?
She'll be polite because the commander is here, and it'll be the unwounded shoulder.
Okay. Oh, was that car?
Is there any like out of place boxes or anything like that?
There's all kinds of boxes in all kinds of different sizes. Only a few of them were big enough to stick a body in.
She's gonna start opening boxes.
All right.
You just see one pop open. There's no one there.
Rabbit.
She clicks the button. She comes back.
Uh,
A little bit creepy there, but all right, all right.
Or when I come into the room, I ask him, which one's Horton's in?
I don't know what you're talking about. I just heard gunfire. Took a position.
Still opening boxes.
Yeah, you. Okay, this one's full of potatoes. This one's full of, prepackaged
And I
meats, or not meats. That'd be in the coolers.
and I tell him we found Spence.
There's a very brief pause before he goes, I know what you're talking about. Who's Spence? Is that?
Vika's hand switches to the other shoulder and might squeeze a little bit. Sorry, I got it. My foot hurts. I just gotta shift my weight here.
We'll squeeze him and call him George. Anyway,
So none of the boxes contain Horton.
after restraining.
No, you don't find Horton in any of the boxes. What was that, Freddie? Or Patrick?
are there any areas, like, in this room, considering some of the stuff they had, any empty spaces that would actually fit the dimensions that we think it would be? Like, where a person could be?
Now that's interesting. Why don't you give me a what role would that even be?
I mean,
Investigate, study, or something in great detail.
Yep.
You're studying the surrounding area.
Yep.
And while you're doing this, the commander is like grilling this guy, but he's not really giving up any information.
Yeah.
all of the tracks that I spotted were going to the mess hall, right? Like
Correct.
All
Yeah.
of them.
12.
All right, that beats a 10. You're looking around. Nothing occurs to you in this particular room. And then you look out across where the coolers and the freezers are, and you realize between two of the between the cooler and one of the freezers, there appears to be a decent little gap. There's like a wall from here. But if that's just full of insulation or whatnot, you could hollow that out and put somebody there.
And I just go, Gianna,
Yep.
come with me. I think I want to check something out.
She follows.
All right. So you're basically trying to find. Well, you're basically searching the area.
Yeah.
Give me a spot, either one of you.
Okay. Up to you, Freddie. You want me to roll? You want to roll?
I don't have spots, so it'll be
Okay,
you.
I'll spot.
All right. Go ahead and give yourself an accuracy, because Freddie has come up with this idea, and he's giving you what he's noticed and what his thought process is.
And 11.
Only barely, but barely works. So you examine that gap in the wall, nothing there. You go into the cooler, and poking around in the cooler, you move some cases, some boxes stacked against one of the walls aside. And there is a very poorly concealed hole in the wall. About 4 feet high. They covered it over with something basically the same color as the wall, but up close, and when you move the packaging out of the way, it's very clearly just something pressed up against the wall. And when you look back in the wall, it's like they've hollowed out a bunch of insulation. And you see he's not even in the box anymore. You see Justin Phokas just laying there. He's got some sort of like medical looking patch attached to the side of his neck.
Mm.
And they've got him kind of wrapped in a blanket.
Do I only see him? Nothing else?
Yeah, you only see him.
Okay. Well, with my size, I'll crawl in there and pull him out, and then
Okay.
I'll do a patch check on him.
All right, give me that roll.
The patch check. He's dead.
Let's hope not. 21.
Well, if he was dead, he isn't now.
He's got a big lump on the back of his head. And it big lump on the back of his head. There's a cut there that's it's scabbed up just fine. But being a scalp wound, you can see where it's run all down his arm.
Mm.
And scalp wounds bleed real bad, so that's not too surprising.
Yeah.
Other than that, he appears to be uninjured. Examining that thing on his neck, it's some kind of sedative. And the patch application, this would keep him under for a good 24 hours, maybe longer. Yeah.
So you're gonna resuscitate him, or
I mean,
But no, he's still breathing. He's still breathing.
he's breathing and everything, but this sedative, like, I don't have anything that can kick him up, do I?
Yeah. No. I mean, he'll wake up soon if you take the patch off. It's a time release.
Okay, she'll take the patch off.
And so you pull the adhesive off, and there was a needle that went in, but that comes out in any trouble. You're a professional. You know how to remove this thing. Without the constant drip of the drug, he'll probably be out another hour or two.
I radio the commander. We found him.
Oh yeah.
He's
When
alive.
y'all went poking around in the cooler, they were all either standing at the door watching or searching the rest of the place.
I recommend not keeping him in the infirmary and keeping him somewhere a bit more secure until he wakes up.
Can we not just take him with us?
I mean, would you want him waking up in my mech within an hour and then him trying?
Honestly, your mech's probably the best place to do that.
The commander, with all due respect, because y'all have been doing good work, he would like his docs to take a look at him.
That's no problem. I'm just requesting that he not be put in the infirmary and be put somewhere more secure.
We won't leave him in the infirmary, but we're going to go check him out in the infirmary.
I'm sure one or two of us coming along won't be a bother.
He would like as many of you to come along as want to.
Sounds
Because
fantastic.
right now he can't trust. He knows he has a security.
He has no doubt that most of his men are good and true. But the way Tiana was talking, there was more than 2 guys, and y'all have only captured 2 guys, so there's still some guys.
Yeah.
That he needs to find. And he addresses all the guys out front that came running back, right behind Vika. He had addressed them and had them searching the building, tearing this place apart.
Well, when they get him to the infirmary, Tiana's going to assist in any way that she can.
Okay, and they just do what you did. They just go over, okay, and they're a little concerned that blow to the head. He could have at least a slight concussion. So they'll feel a lot easier, once he's awake. They don't like the idea of y'all taking him somewhere other than the infirmary.
Well, she wasn't saying not to take him to the infirmary, just somewhere more secure.
Just don't stay in the infirmary.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. The docs aren't real happy about you taking him out of the infirmary before he's woken up.
Okay, yeah.
But the commander kind of overrules him. And you wind up basically in the they don't call it jail on a military base.
Brig.
The brig.
Brig.
There's nobody currently in the brig. It's one of the more secure buildings.
It probably has some kind of medical facilities too.
Actually, currently right now we'll have 2 people in the brig.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Do you really
And a couple of the docs from one of the docs from the infirmary comes along with you.
Yeah.
And since basically all you're really doing is monitoring him until he wakes up, until the drugs work out of his system, and he wakes up. And yeah, the 2 you captured get locked in there. The commander basically goes off to interrogate them with some more of his people. And tells you, well, actually, you don't have to come contact him. Yeah. Ping him on his comm if there's any change. You can tell he's a little stressed out by this. Oh yeah, that senator's son you were supposed to take care of. Whatever happened to him?
He's fine.
Tiana's
Just taking a
gonna
nap.
ping Eric's character. Hey, you might want to ask them to look up all of the people on the base for that particular signal you found, or something similar, and see if they can find names for all of them. the beam kind of thing where
That beam, essentially, the way he described it.
Well, I
Essentially-
think what Carr's meaning is
Yeah.
anybody
Yeah.
else that was doing that kind of piggybacking.
yeah,
Gotcha.
trying to relay information to the other base.
One moment, almost done. Giving a bit of extra juice to their doohickey here.
All right, and you'd already made the roll to do that, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got a 13.
So, you tell Freddy that, and then just a couple minutes later, y'all get it set up, and y'all manage to punch through the interference. It's not perfect,
Mm-hmm.
but you can get a signal out.
Oh yeah.
And there's well, y'all get a signal out. You don't know that you're not necessarily receiving signals any better.
Yeah. Hey, Commander.
Griffith's like, what is it, Uriah?
Well, you can send signals again.
And he just uses his comm to patch through the system. He sends out a quick report to his immediate superiors. Basically stating that the garbled message, but you guys have shown up. There was a kidnapping. There was a murder on the base, an attempted kidnapping of Private Horton. He is unconscious, but otherwise seems to be unharmed. Like I said, he gives it's brief because he's not super confident of your of how long your work will
Signal's
last.
getting out, which is why he didn't use. Which is why he used the alias, not the other one.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Trying to send an encrypted signal would probably use up more bandwidth, but I assume I don't really know. So yeah, he does that. Let's see. Then you can start doing the investigation, he suggests, or actually, some of the other guys in the room start doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he'll
And
start
there are-
delegating to, since they're under his command right now. Air quotes, because not directly, but they were told to work with him.
Yeah.
He'll start delegating to have you check this bracket of names, you get this bracket, you get this bracket, etc.
Okay.
And then he'll have a bracket for himself once he's done making sure that whole you can at least send signals works again, and then he'll check his bracket too.
Okay. Knowing what to look for now, they come up with 3 more people that have piggybacked like that.
Okay.
Within the last month.
Right. He will. Was one of them the commander?
No.
Okay.
Does that correlate with what Tiana was seeing as far as the footprints? Like at least 4-ish possible footprints?
Let's see.
4-ish sets, I guess.
Yeah, you weren't completely sure.
I knew there was more than 2, but maybe 3 or 4.
More than 2, probably not more than 5.
Okay.
And that's just, that we're dealing with, that we're hauling this guy around.
Okay. Uriah will calm his crew. It's like, are any of you with the commander right now?
Y'all are just down the hall
yes.
frame.
Yeah.
Huh? Okay. I've got 3 more names, and I'd feel better telling you all through our encrypted line versus just doing a base-wide thing.
I will.
And he'll give the names.
Yeah, I'll let the commander know that Uriah found these 3 people used a similar piggyback to that tight band transmission within the last month.
All right. You'd walk
Tiana-
into the interrogation room. Thank you for that, Freddie. He thinks for a second. And then he requests a couple of specific people to come to the brig. Some of the higher ranking officers, people he's known a long time.
Hmm.
He will set them to going off and suddenly grabbing these guys.
After all the gunshots and everything, Tiana's still going to make sure her team is okay, but she's not going to go too far from the guy.
Yeah.
I know no one took damage, but
other than Uriah, pretty much all of you are in the brig. So
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think any of us took damage.
None of you took damage, but she's still going to double check.
Yeah.
And you're right, in a completely different building. I'm fine.
I'm not checking on you. Just those in the immediate area.
Your building's locked down, so unless one of the traitors is one of the guys working with you, you're fine.
Is it?
The names don't match up to the list they
Don't know how to
gave you.
find out.
Just don't do any
Suddenly
work.
Uriah has a gun to his head.
I really hate to splatter this brain all over the computer. It's a really nice brain, apparently. But no. Within an hour, Phokas is waking up. He wakes up. He sees, oh, Doc, what happened? Who the hell are all of you? What am I in the brig for?
Crimes against
And as I sort of look around to make sure no one else can visibly hear it, I have bad news, Justin. The enemy found out who you are.
I gotta go home, don't I?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, because the reason why you just woke up, there was someone there. They tried to snag you in the space.
You'll be okay, but more than likely you'll probably have a concussion, if anything.
Yeah, I feel a little
That's
loopy. Wait, you guys are Union.
That is correct.
Yep. This goes all the way to the top. Maybe.
From the comms. Yeah.
So he's getting up, and while he's doing that, the medic has pulled out the little light. He's checking his eyes, confirms that it's a mild concussion. Normally, he wouldn't suggest that he travel, but considering the name he just overheard, he's kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah, well, people already know. Fuck it. Rip the Band-Aid off.
And we will wrap here for the night.
Woo!
So next week, if y'all want to hang around and question the guys a little bit, you can. Or if you just want to immediately make plans to beat feet back to your base, you can also do that. Just depends on how much of a rush y'all want to be.
The trick is, though, we know they have at least 3 people. Did they get word off that the plot failed?
Well, the plot only just now failed.
Yeah.
Check our mechs before we leave, so definitely.
For listening devices.
Listening
Well,
devices. And
y'all better jot all that stuff down so y'all remember next week.
Yep.
So I hope y'all had fun. I enjoyed it. Hope anybody that comes by, or if anybody swung by and watched, hope you enjoyed it. If you come by later and watch or listen, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you join us next week. Again, I was your storyteller for the evening, Jason. And with me was Patrick as Freddy, Jeremy as Cortev, Eric as Uriah, Carr as Tiana, and Sarah as Vicar. Not a vicar. Not a vicar.
Vicar.
That's a totally different thing.
Different game.
Totally different thing.
And we will see y'all next time.
Did you bludgeon them, Vicar?